Today we are diving deep into one of the most trending projects in the crypto world right now, Somicoin, also known as Somnia. The coin has been making headlines across the market, especially after its listing on Binance, which is one of the biggest catalysts for any cryptocurrency. In this video, we're going to cover absolutely everything about Somicoin, why it is gaining so much traction, what kind of updates have recently dropped, the major news shaping its future, detailed price predictions, and of course, whether this project can be considered safe for long-term investment. So if you're in the US or anywhere around the world watching this, stay with me until the end, because this is going to be a complete breakdown. First of all, let's understand what Somicoin is all about. Somnia, or Somi, is not just another meme token or quick pump-and-dump project. This is being pitched as a next-generation blockchain platform designed around digital identity, interoperability, and the evolving metaverse economy. The team behind Somi has been working on building an ecosystem that connects different blockchains and brings secure identity solutions to Web3 applications. With digital identity becoming a hot topic worldwide, especially in the US, with regulations tightening and privacy concerns growing, Somi finds itself at the right place at the right time. Projects that tie into identity verification and secure blockchain usage are expected to see much higher adoption over the coming years. That's one of the big reasons why this project is not only trending, but also being looked at as something with a strong foundation rather than hype alone. Now, let's talk about the Binance listing, which is one of the most significant updates in the history of any coin. Getting listed on Binance instantly boosts a project's credibility and provides access to millions of traders worldwide. For Somi, the Binance listing was not only a signal of legitimacy, but also a massive liquidity injection. Before Binance, Somi was available on smaller exchanges and through decentralized platforms, which limited its reach. The Binance listing opened the doors for institutional investors, retail traders, and whales who usually wait for the biggest exchanges before touching a coin. And that's why, right after the listing, Somi saw a big surge in volume and price action. Listings on Binance often serve as a launchpad for coins, and if history is any guide, projects like Solana, Polygon, and even meme coins like Shiba Inu got their global recognition only after Binance picked them up. Somi is now entering that same league of visibility. But here's where it gets interesting. Somi is not just riding on hype alone. The project has been consistently dropping updates, and this makes a difference. Recently, Somi announced partnerships with several blockchain developers who are integrating their ID protocols into real-world Web3 platforms. There has been talk about decentralized applications being built on the Somi chain, and developers are already experimenting with ways to make Somnia compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine. This kind of interoperability is a game changer because it means developers from Ethereum and other blockchains could potentially bring their projects over to Somi without massive overhauls. The team also hinted at bringing NFT and metaverse utility onto the platform, which could make Somi one of the few coins actually bridging identity, gaming, and finance together. Another update that has been circulating in the news is Somi's collaboration with regulatory advisory groups. With the US and EU both working on tighter crypto regulations, projects that are proactive in compliance are much more likely to succeed long-term. Somi's push toward identity verification and compliance-friendly solutions actually puts it in a favorable spot. While a lot of crypto projects fear regulations, Somi seems to be embracing them and using them as a selling point. For US investors, this is an important factor because compliance reduces the risk of a project being banned or restricted later on. Now, let's discuss why Somicoin pumped so much recently. The primary reasons are, number 1, the Binance listing, which we already discussed, and number 2, the narrative around identity and security in Web3 gaining momentum. The crypto market has cycles of narratives. Sometimes it's DeFi, sometimes it's meme coins, and right now identity and AI-related tokens are in the spotlight. Somi sits right at the intersection of identity and blockchain interoperability, which makes it an attractive bet for traders who are chasing the next trend. The third reason is whale accumulation. Data shows that shortly before the Binance listing, some large wallets had already started accumulating Somi, a clear sign that insiders and institutions were preparing for the surge. Once retail traders caught on, the pump became inevitable. Of course, we also need to talk about the market condition. Right now, Bitcoin has been holding key resistance zones, and the overall crypto market is showing strength. When the market is bullish, Smaller altcoins like Somi benefit disproportionately because traders are willing to take more risks. This bullish sentiment has added fuel to Somi's recent pump, making it one of the hot coins to watch. Now let's shift to price predictions because I know that's what most of you are waiting for. Based on current technical analysis and fundamental outlook, Somi has some clear price targets in the short, medium, and long term. Right now, Somi is trading around its post-listing consolidation zone. If the bullish momentum continues, the next short-term target could be a move toward the $1 mark, which is a strong psychological level. If Somi manages to hold that and the market remains favorable, we could see midterm targets of $1.50 to $2. In the longer term, assuming adoption and utility keep growing, Somi could realistically challenge the $5 zone over the next couple of years. Some analysts are even more optimistic, suggesting that if Somi successfully executes its roadmap, a $10 valuation is not impossible within the next major bull run. However, it's important to keep in mind that these are projections, not guarantees, and the crypto market is extremely volatile. When we discuss price predictions, we also have to look at the risks. Somi, despite its strong fundamentals, is still a new project. New coins are always vulnerable to extreme volatility, and sharp pumps are often followed by corrections. Investors should be prepared for short-term dips, especially if the overall crypto market faces corrections. Another risk is adoption. While Somi's identity narrative is powerful, it still needs to prove that developers and users will actually use the platform in large numbers. Partnerships and announcements are great, but what will really determine long-term success is real-world usage. Now the big question, is Somi a safe investment? The answer depends on your risk tolerance. For conservative investors, Somi should probably be treated as a high-risk, high-reward asset. It's still in its early stages, so while the upside is huge, so is the potential downside. For risk-tolerant investors, especially those looking to diversify into emerging narratives, Somi does offer an attractive opportunity. The Binance listing reduces a lot of risks around liquidity and exchange access, which is a big plus. Also, the regulatory-friendly approach of the project makes it less likely to face bans or legal issues. But still, no coin in crypto is completely safe, and investing more than you can afford to lose is never recommended. From a broader perspective, Somi is positioned as more than just a speculative asset. If it succeeds in becoming a standard for blockchain identity and interoperability, its real value could be massive. The Web3 space is still evolving, and identity verification will be one of the biggest themes in the next few years. Somi could potentially become the backbone of that evolution, and if it does, early investors stand to gain a lot. For US investors specifically, Somi is worth watching because the US market is heavily focused on compliance, and Somi's identity-first approach aligns well with that. It's not just about chasing pumps. It's about recognizing projects that could survive the next wave of regulation and still thrive. So, to wrap this all up, Somicoin is currently one of the hottest projects in the market, thanks to its Binance listing, strong narrative, and growing ecosystem. The coin has pumped significantly, but it still has room for growth if adoption continues. Price predictions. Put it anywhere from $1 to $5 in the foreseeable future, with even higher targets possible in the long run. While risks remain, especially given its new status, Somi's fundamentals make it more than just a meme coin or hype project. Whether it's safe for investment depends on your personal risk appetite, but one thing is clear, Somi is a project you cannot ignore in today's market.